All right, welcome back to the rest of the story. Well, this is going to be about as up to date, up to time as I can be. It is 10 to 7 at night, and hopefully this video is going to be up in less than 24 hours, so I got to try to do this quick because too long of a video and getting it uploaded becomes a challenge. So, spent some money, literally. Spent quite a bit of money, but things happen and things need to be replaced. These three pieces are the top link for the 4640. They used to be. It was on the quick hitch, and a couple years ago now, this got bent. I don't know how it got bent. I wasn't there, but I definitely remember seeing when it was bent, because even this lower one does have a little bit of a very subtle bow to it. So because the 4640 is going to be on that 3-point sprayer, having a lot of people start to tell me that guys are running 200-gallon sprayers with 30-foot booms off the back of their tractors, that the front ends are actually getting pretty light for them, and it's varying size tractors. Some, I will say, are obviously lighter, smaller tractors than the 46, but some are of the same size, and with a full rack of weights in the front like what we have, the front tires do get light. So the rate I'm putting down a lot of the product is probably going to be somewhere in that 10 to 15 gallon range. I'm not sure where I'm going to be as far as putting down or spraying for weeds. That was not my original intent. It wasn't. I was really just looking to put fertilizer down, put down nitrogen, to kind of kick my hay crop in the butt to get it up so I can do a second and potentially a third cut. Fourth cut, it really depends on the weather. Even third cut is iffy. But talking to my agronomist, he is planning on getting that sprayer gone through within the next week or so, and his plans was talking to me about it, was setting this sprayer up with the ag leader monitor, so that way it'll automatically turn on and off. I can control it from the monitor, and that way I can run the on track, straight track back and forth, or curve paths, or whatever I want to do. So at least my passes are saving me money, because that way I'm not overlapping or underlapping. I'm getting a nice, as perfect as I can get, coverage across all my ground. The thing is, with this being bent, and for being unsure how heavy that sprayer is going to be, it is a 300-gallon tank, which you don't typically get all 300 gallons in it, but I might, especially if I'm got a tender tank right down at the bottom anyway. I can just drive right up to it and drive slow enough that I'm not spilling product all over the place. But some people may say that I could still run that with these, that it'll be fine, or it'll bend. Yeah, that'd be kind of scary, bend these back straight. But $400 later, and we got new links on here. It's needed. It's a safety thing, not just for me, but other people on the road or other people around me. Granted, I really don't think anybody else is going to be around me when I'm doing this, because much like with that truck, Big Red back there, that's more or less Ryan's baby. Ryan is the one that takes care of the trucking. Granted, there's probably going to be a time where I got to start running it some more or whatever else, but I'm going to hold off on that as long as I can. I have zero interest in driving semi. I can drive the truck, stock trailer, flatbed, whatever else, but I just have zero interest in running a semi. So I kind of get the same response out of Dad and Ryan when it comes to spraying, so I guess the spraying is probably going to just be my job going forward, as long as you have all the safety equipment and you're not just covering yourself in chemicals, which is exactly what I intend on doing, safety. So we got to do that. I don't know if we'll be able to run the quick hitch on the 46 with that sprayer or not, but those 3-point implements in general can be a bear to get hooked and unhooked. James Sullivan, I'm pretty sure that's how you say your name, did an awesome and sent me a bunch of teeth for the rake. Now, this is part of the expensive repairs coming on to the rake, but This is what the teeth are. Wondering what ones James sent me. I'm not going to put them on right away. I'm actually going to put them in the parts bin for spares. And then if and when, let's not face it, there isn't an if, it's when those metal teeth start to break, I'm going to put these on. That's the plan anyway. I mean, I only bought enough teeth to do exactly what I intend to do, and which is all these teeth on this rake will be brand new metal teeth. Let's go ahead and break this open. This is from Joe's Machinery LLC. Not sure whether or not they care that I mention them or not, but there's some really pretty handwriting. So I mean, my cursive isn't that neat, but even I get compliments on my cursive, and which is pretty much a dying art, because the last I heard, nobody, or they're not teaching the kids how to write cursive. Of course, why would they? Everything else is online and computers and everything else, so why don't you just scribble a line and say that's your signature? At least that's what Ryan does. My brother's writing is basically chicken scratch. So let's see here. I'm not planning on, well, I am. I'm planning on getting this rake up and back together as soon as possible. But because of this whole school's out for a month, wherever it is, our intern is bored. And she might come and help for a day or two. And I already kind of told her that does a really nice job packing. This thing was solid too. This thing was like a good 150 pounds. But all the newspaper. Let's see, auto racing, NASCAR Cup Series, Auto Club 400, baseball. Okay, that's enough newspaper reading. I will definitely give these guys good reviews, and the fact that they make sure that everything is okay. Let's just make a mess. Awesome. So anybody needs some aftermarket parts for New Holland mowers, crimpers, haybines, rakes, corn heads, and harvesters. Joe's Machinery LLC, Willow Street, Pennsylvania. Definitely the people to get a hold of. I was very impressed. The only thing that surprised me, not that I'm disappointed at all, I mean, I think we can tell that they're not exactly modern farmers, if you guys can see that, which is kind of neat. I would never want to farm that way myself, but I like watching some of the videos of them farming with their horses, as long as it's them and it's not me. So that's really neat. So I went ahead and I got, might be in trouble here. Well, might have the wrong parts. Well, it said it was for the bar end complete package. Well, maybe not. Maybe it's just an update that I'm not quite aware of. It's got the snap ring, and it's not the bearings that we had in it, but those bearings I'll have to... It's in the box. Made in Mexico. Speedy sleeve. Oh well. Oh, it's a seal. Alright. Well, tell you what, we're gonna trial and error. It says it's for the bars that I got coming, so I guess we're gonna have to wait and see. No. See, that's right. I think they're just backwards. See, because the bolts are... Well, tell you what, I'm not going to worry about it for now. And then we got the teeth for it down here. So that, somebody had told me that you guys have canceled each other out as far as the teeth on it, because I had two people, oh, they're back over here. I've had people tell me that the rubber are just absolutely terrible. Same length and everything. Perfect. The rubber ones are terrible because you hit a rock or something and they break off, and then you find them in your bales and your tires and everything else like that. Yeah, I definitely see where you're coming from. But I had another guy tell me that the spring ones like this are just so terrible because of similar reasons that they break. And I think the way he was talking is that maybe he didn't realize, or maybe he does, that this tooth has a built-in spring like this. That will, in my eyes, take more abuse than a piece of rubber that'll eventually dry rot or whatever else. And that is a big thing too about this rake, that I'm not planning on the Sunday comics, sweet. I'm not planning on leaving that rake sit outside. I mean, I'm kind of a hypocrite right now, but just because I'm planning on moving some stuff, that trailer is going back down to my place, that grain drill is probably going back down to my place, the baler is coming up. There's going to be baler rebuild videos coming up here between the pickup and everything else right there. But my plans are, when that rake is not being used, it is going to be inside somewhere. Probably down at my place, because there isn't a whole lot of movement in and out of my place throughout the summer. Then I'll find some place I can wheel it in. You can push that thing by hand really easy, and I'll find some place to put it, just because that is, in all intentions, going to be a lifetime rake. I plan on owning that for the rest of my life. They're pretty straightforward. You guys saw the website and the booklet. I can basically buy that rake brand new in parts. I mean, they had the wheels, the rims, the whole dolly set up front, the bars. I'm pretty sure I saw everything in the book to buy that rake. The only thing that major thing I'm going to change on it eventually, is actually to swap out the ground driven drive on it and switch over to a hydraulic pump, so that way it is constantly running as long as the hydraulics are running. So took a hit to talk about bending stuff. My bale spear got bent, which is really no big deal. Hay prices are absolutely atrocious. There's a lot of hay at the local sale, and to be honest with you, I do have some really nice hay that I could sell, but I don't have to sell, and I'm kind of in the mindset right now. That is the last of the crummy looking stuff that sat outside basically since we made it September, and had how many feet of rain and about an inch, couple inches, few feet, couple feet of snow on it throughout this winter. So these get fed out. I got some nicer feed I'm going to be feeding my cows, and probably just going to go that route, because I don't really feel like taking hay up to the sales barn and they're just making my money back on it. I'll walk it off the farm through the cows. So, which I'm checking them daily. You should always check your cows daily, at least once a day. I'm checking mine at least once. I'm actually doing morning and night, just because I'm not sure when they're going to start calving, and I do have one that she's acting kind of funky. Not bad funky, just that she's acting like she's starting to spring up. So now the moment that the majority of you are probably waiting for, if I haven't mentioned it at the beginning of the video, is I gotta start this tractor. You don't have to, but the 4020 and the 4640 have both had their oils changed, their fuel filters changed. This has been done for a couple days. I did the 4020 30 seconds before I started the camera. I got done with that, so they got to run them and then check the oil filters. Did the battery cables, shined them up, filled the batteries with water on the 46, because they were not completely full, but they were far from being completely empty. I don't know what it is. I think this is an aftermarket seat on this 46, but the back, it's actually got a little bit of a curve to it. I mean, it's not flat across, so it kind of conforms to your back. And for being somebody that has back issues, this is really nice. So we got lights, that's awesome. But this is gonna be, let's see here, you guys aren't blinded. That's not too bad. First cold-ish start of the year. And there she it sitting idle a little bit. Let me go start the 40-20. This isn't the earliest I've changed oil in the tractors, but not the latest either. It's not a last minute panic trying to get the oils changed, but the chisel plow has actually gone through and ready to go, and as soon as the ground is fit, we can start mixing up waterways and fixing up waterways and everything else and getting ground worked up. We will be doing it. The key was on the floor. The reason the key was on the floor, other than the obvious safety reasons of somebody not starting this machine when the oil or something is taken off of this machine, or the oil is dropped out of it, you know. We have toddler running around the farm right now, and my nephew is really awesome at zeroing in on everything that is dangerous to grab a hold of. And he's gotten to where he'll start the gator and the four-wheelers, and it's just a matter of time before he gets one of the tractors started. But he's never in them by himself. We're standing there, and that's the first thing he grabs for. So he said when they're that young, they can never be unattended. But you just got to be careful, because all it takes is a fraction of a second and something bad happens. So we got lights. I didn't do the battery cables on this tractor because Dad did the batteries end of December, 1st January. So you guys can see out the front. I don't think she's gonna go, guys. No, too cold. Well, I'm not gonna run the batteries down. That's all we're gonna do for this one. I'll plug it in tonight, warm it up a little bit. I'll try it in the morning. I really don't want to sit and just crank it, because that's not exactly the right thing to do either. But it's 17 minutes long. 4640 in Oliver Glory is purring like a kitten. She's ready to go to work. So thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. Take care. Take it easy. Keep in touch. If you have not already, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. If you don't want to like, go ahead and comment. If you don't want to comment, go ahead and subscribe. If you don't want to do any of the three, why are you watching? Later.